following is a presentation of the National Sim Racing League of America. Enjoy the race. Hello everybody, this is Napa Fan here, and this is race number 18 in season number 7 of the NRLOA Chick-fil-A Cup Series. This is the New Balance 450, the inaugural points-paying event at the Armory Digital Superspeedway. And this is going to be a fascinating event. This is a super speedway, which means there are no pit stops. It's a strict 35-lap race to the finish, and it's going to be fascinating to see who gets it done here tonight, because it doesn't matter where you start at a place like this. And finally, after so long, I've been trying to get him forever here, we got Caleb Hoffman alongside us for tonight's event. You haven't done a race since the Daytona 500. A lot has changed since the beginning. We're now closing in on the chase here. Only 3 races left until we determine those 10 drivers, and those guys right on the bubble. They have to be aggressive in a race like this today, but how aggressive do you think they're going to be here in this 35-lap event?
Well, I think including the factor that it is a super speedway race, they're going to be a bit more aggressive than usual just because they know they have a shot at winning.
Definitely will, and we're going to see a lot of passing here today, but we might not necessarily see any crashes. Yesterday in the Turkey Hill Series, we went caution-free. We went caution-free in the Turkey Hill Series the first time around this year, so don't really expect many cautions. We might get one, we might not. Just going to be up to how the drivers decide to deal with that here tonight. But anyways, turning 19 today. On my 19th birthday, we're doing an inaugural event in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series, and you'll be turning 16 here soon, so we got a lot of birthdays coming up here, and might be a pretty special day for somebody in Victory Lane here today, but it's a special day for the guys up there in the points, because they're at a point now where if they get another good run, they could possibly clinch themselves a chase spot automatically. You got Brad Stover and John Stewart tie for the points lead. John Stewart is officially the points leader as he has more wins than Brad Stover. 475 points for both of those drivers. Roger Ray is 29 points behind. Cody Sill, 34 points behind. Diego Yepes, 50 points behind. Nicholas Samidio, 54 points behind. Elijah Gordon, 57 points behind. Justin Heath is 60 points behind. Nick Smith, 71 behind. And Aaron Wolpole, 77 behind. And then behind the line, Michael Canto is 3 points behind the cutoff. Stuart Gratton is 5 points behind the cutoff. Matthew Phillips is 9 points behind the cutoff. And Cameron Garlington and John Arndt both 10 points behind the cutoff coming into this race. Only 3 races remain until we set the 10-driver field for the chase for the Chick-fil-A Cup. Let's go ahead and get the engines fired here for the New Balance 450. It's going to be a wild one here in Seattle, Washington, but we can't get it started until those engines are fired. Let's head trackside for the command here at Armory Digital.
Driver, start your engines.
And a great command there to fire these guys up for the 18th time this season. And we are here for 35 laps, so decently long race. Just a little bit longer than the Valvoline 400, but these guys do go a little bit slower than they do at Daytona because we do have the restrictor plates on here in Armory Digital. Patrick Smith was the fastest guy in qualifying yesterday. He will start alongside the Coke 600 winner of Christian Vargas. Jonathan Wong in the 39. He'll be starting alongside Aaron Wolpole, who has had a very, very good season as of late. He started out wrecking his car multiple times at the beginning of the season, but now he is 10th in the points coming into this event with only 3 races left until the cutoff. It's looking pretty good for the American Motorsports driver of Aaron Wolpole. We'll have to see if he can do it. Matthew Phillips really close to the cutoff, only 9 points behind Aaron Walpole, who is 10th in the points. And a great run for Matthew Phillips could put him in the top 10, entering 2 races left to go. Luke Rainey in the number 12. He has yet to get a top 10 this season, but here he is starting in the 6th position. Julio Caesar alongside Jesse Turner, the Season 5 All-Star Race winner here at Armory Digital. That was the last time we came here in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series. Jake West, second straight race in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series as an uncharted driver for American Motorsports, alongside the NRLOA 500 champion of Stuart Dratton. It's going to be an interesting one here today. Everybody is rolling off here. Our points leader, or our tied points leader, or co-points leader, I should say, Brad Stover, starting 41st. But here at Armory Digital, you can work your way from the back to the front very easily, and it's all about being in the right place at the right time. So Patrick Smith in the number 66 alongside Christian Vargas. 35 laps here at Armory Digital. The first time we're awarding points at this racetrack in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series. It's going to be an interesting one here tonight, and it's going to be a good one as well. Who's going to get it done? We're going to find out in 35 laps. The New Balance 450 is green. We're racing in Seattle, Washington.
Yeah, and you see they're already going 3 wide at the start here. Tails to tell, and that will come later on in this race.
Lap 1, led by Christian Vargas at the line. He got around Patrick Smith on the first lap. And Matthew Phillips is now to the inside for the lead. Here comes Luke Rainey, Jake West on the inside lane. You got our points leader, John Stewart, in the 04 on the inside. And the last time you commentated, this guy was in victory lane. Zachary Fitzwater in the 9. 31st in points now after 2 wins in the season. It's been a tough one for Fitzwater. But another win. Wouldn't put him in contention for the championship, but it would definitely feel good for the Aussie driver racing in his 7th season, so we'll have to see what he can do. Matthew Phillips hanging on to the lead. Here comes Luke Rainey to the inside.
Yeah, it's another great thing about this points format. It rewards wins as well as consistency. So if you get 2 wins, it's not automatically making your season. You still have to be consistent and run up front in most of these races.
You do, and Fitzwater getting aggressive 4 wide to the inside of Stewart, West, and Caesar, and he might go to the inside of Rainey for the lead. Luke Rainey now out front in the number 12 machine, but here comes Fitzwater with Jordan Carter in the 26 and the 22 of Isaac Nichols. Garrett Zenor won a truck race here not too long ago. He's still going for his first Chick-fil-A Cup Series win since Season 4. Blaine Keys and Alexander Rowe. And I forget the other driver. There's one other driver. It might actually be Luke Rainey. Those 2 drivers have yet to lead a lap this season. Everybody else, all the other full-timers have. So we'll have to see if Alexander Rowe can get one led here tonight at Armory Digital. Nichols leads lap number 3 here in the New Balance 450.
Yeah, watch out for these underdogs. I mean, the only times I've ever commentated, we've seen, people that haven't won in a while win, especially at the Daytona 500. Zachary Fitzwater, if I recall correctly, hadn't won in a while when he won that race, so just watch out for him, especially at these superspeedways.
Yeah, you got to watch out for everybody here tonight, because I think everybody's going to have a chance at victory. I mean, I think everyone's going to be up front in the top 5 at some point throughout the event. Of course, not everybody can lead a lap because there are more drivers than laps in this race, but still, you got to get up front near the end of the race. Right now, it's just testing to make sure you can do it. So we'll have to see how these guys figure it out to the end. Nichols holding on for a 2nd straight lap. He's going to lead lap 4 in the 22. Alexander Rowe on the inside. Nicholas Samedeo, Stuart Gratton, and Andrew Miller They're all on the inside lane. Here comes Sam Adio. He comes into this race 6th in the points. He's 23 ahead of the cutoff right now. Actually, no, he's more than that. He's 27 ahead of the cutoff right now. 26. I can't do math really well while I'm trying to commentate. He's 26 points ahead of the cutoff. Another top 5 could put him a whole race ahead of the cutoff, and that is great with 2 races left to go. We got 5 wide right now as Jay Jefferson to the inside of Andrew Miller, Alonso, and Sinor. Stewart was in the middle of that as well, but the points leader backs off. And Isaac Nichols is going to lead a 3rd straight lap here at Armory Digital. We've never seen that before in any of the races we've had here, but Nichols doing a great job keeping the 22 out front.
Yeah, another thing about Armory Digital, it's not like your Daytona or Talladega. It can hold, 4 wide easily. 5 wide, maybe a bit of a stretch, but it can hold that.
Sam Adio to the inside of Isaac Nichols for the lead. Stuart Gratton, Tristan Allen, Alexander Rowe all in the top 5. All veterans right now, so the veterans shining here at Armory Digital, but all 42 drivers are still out there, all with an equal chance at getting the victory here tonight. Sam Adio with a run to the inside of Isaac Nichols, but the thing is there, Nichols led 3 straight laps. That is good news for some guys who might get the lead in this race. They might be able to stay out front for quite a while, so if you get the lead near the end of this thing, maybe with about 3 laps to go, you could still get the victory. Sam Adio will lead lap 6 here at Armory Digital. Here comes Stuart Gratton in the 25, right to the inside. Nichols had to check up there, and he's in the outside wall. We had a wreck, and a big wreck through the corner. Sinor, Patrick Smith, our pole sitter, John Arndt, Matthew Phillips, Luke Rainey, and Elijah Gordon with heavy damage in the 5. Oh my goodness. And a junkyard there. They're racing back to the line. Tristan Allen to the inside of Stuart Gratton for the lead. Richard Kingard, who won at Daytona a couple weeks ago, is here. Brad Stover started at the end of the field. Cameron Garlington. Let's see who gets it at the line. Looks like it's going to be Tristan Allen in the 2.
Yeah, we all spoke a little bit too soon about talking about how there hadn't been a caution since the Valvoline 400, as well as, how this place could fit 4 and 5 wide. Apparently, they didn't do that for too long.
John Arndt in the 05 came into this race only 10 points off the cutoff. That is not what he needs right there, but it does not appear he has too much damage, so he should be able to continue. Luke Rainey in the 12 looks the same. Diego Yepez in the 32. Now, that is a big one because he's 30 points ahead of the cutoff, but if he finishes last in this race, which he started last in this event, which means if he gets knocked out here, he'll probably finish last as well. He could possibly be outside the chase exiting this one here today. And Elijah Gordon as well. Only 23 ahead of the cutoff was involved in that one. He's all torn up. Garrett Sinor in the 38. And Matthew Phillips only 9 points off the cutoff with heavy damage. Patrick Smith in the 66, who was 9 points ahead of the cutoff as well, was involved from the pole. It doesn't seem like too many guys got involved, however, but a lot of big names there who could not afford a wreck like that. Looks like Gratton's coming down, and Jefferson looks like they're just going to top off here to make sure they can make it. Same with Bartow. But no need to really focus on that, so we're going to go ahead and see what happened to bring out the first caution of the night here in the New Balance 450 at the Armory Digital Superspeedway. Well, they cut it a little too close past the start-finish line, and that is the trouble spot here at Armory Digital. A couple of rookies with chase hopes as well. Diego Yepez and Matthew Phillips get a little too close for comfort. Garrett Sinor has nowhere to go on the outside, and right there they squeeze up, and Yepez is going to get right into his teammate here, into the outside wall, and they just jam it up behind them. Elijah Gordon, JoJo Carter, nowhere to go. Jonathan Wong avoids this. Trey Bartow avoids this. A lot of guys actually avoid this. Rainey in the 12 does not. Taps William Brock there a little bit. Ryan Madden in the 85 avoids it, but barely. And you see Patrick Smith, I believe he tapped the 38 here a little significantly, and that's going to probably knock him out. John Arndt in the 05. Just a little bit of damage there, but I think Arndt and Rainey are going to be okay. You see Jesse Turner, I think he avoided this one, along with Roberts, Julio Caesar, and Jake West. But the big ones here, no question, Elijah Gordon, Diego Yepez, Patrick Smith, and Matthew Phillips. Those 4 guys are probably going to be knocked out. or get very poor finishes either way. And they're all right there on the edge of the chase, and they did not need this here tonight.
And as you see here, the exact same breakdown, except I want to look at the number 36 of Jake West. After, being experienced in these wrecks at the big plate tracks, it's really difficult to avoid a wreck like this, and especially when it's happening so fast, and he did a fantastic job at avoiding that wreck.
He definitely did. Jake West, only his second career Chick-fil-A Cup Series start. His first one was last week. He finished last, so it does not look like he's going to finish last here tonight, which is a great thing for him, but it was a relatively minor crash for a super speedway, but still knocked out a lot of significant guys, and this is going to majorly affect the championship at the end of the day. You got to check out those points when we're done here in Armory Digital, because they're going to be massively different. Tristan Allen, still going for his first career Chick-fil-A Cup Series win. Won the race back to the line. Let's see what he does on the restart here in the New Balance 450 at Armory Digital. We are back here at the Armory Digital Superspeedway, and we have ourselves Tristan Allen going for his first career Chick-fil-A Cup Series win. Leading the field in the number 2, Richard Kingart, Brad Stover, Nicholas Samadillo, and Cameron Garlington. The top 5, Andrew Miller, Juan Garcia, Alexander Rowe, Daniel McMillan, and Hergel Arvin Alonso, the top 10. Guys getting knocked out. Elijah Gordon actually got back out there in the 5. He is 2 laps down, trying to salvage something. But Patrick Smith, Matthew Phillips, Diego Yepes, Garrett Zenor, and we didn't even really mention JoJo Carter there, but the 26 as well, also going to get knocked out. John Arndt is still out there, along with Luke Rainey on the lead lap. So we'll have to hope that they can stay in the pack here and have contention for the win. We're going to restart on lap 12 of 35 here at the Armory Digital Superspeedway, the New Balance 450, led by Tristan Allen coming to the line.
And as they restart, just want to talk about that 5 car real fast. That might come in to play later in this race as lap traffic. He might hold up the leaders if he's slow enough with all that damage.
That's definitely a possibility. We see that at Daytona a lot. Talladega can see that problem too. That's when we get the chess match game to start. The last time we had a race like that, Richard Kingart won by over a second, so he's in a good position right now if that's going to be the case here today, but we'll have to see. A lot of hungry guys behind Tristan Allen looking for the win. Let's look at over 20 laps to go, 24 to go to be exact. And that's how far we win the Rockstar Pro Series race last night. So a long ways to go here at Armory Digital, but a lot can happen between now and the finish. Brad Stover for second on Richard Kingart. Andrew Miller, Alexander Rowe on the inside lane as Allen stays out front in the 2. So Tristan Allen will lead lap 12 here at Armory Digital. Pack's a little more spread out now than they were when the caution came out, but I think they're going to bunch back up here before too long. Andrew Miller to the inside for second place. He's got Alexander Rowe behind him, Isaac Nichols as well in the 22. Blaine Keys is here. He needs a great run. He's last in the points coming into this race. And Aaron Walpole, we mentioned how good of a season he was having up to this point. Here he is, just outside the top 10 right now. So another great run for him here. Justin Heath as well, another one of those chase drivers looking to close in on the lead pack. We got these stragglers back here looking to close in. John Arndt and Luke Rainey a little ways off here. William Brock also accumulated a little bit of damage there. And you see these two guys, Patrick Smith and Matthew Phillips, they were both involved as well. They are both slow. And it's going to be fun when these leaders hit those 2 cars. Like you said, Caleb, it can get very interesting when lap traffic comes into play. Andrew Miller leads that lap. Here comes Blaine Keys in the 64. Yeah,
I mean, it's going to be interesting, especially at the end here. When they break up into different packs, we're going to have to see which pack accumulates more cars so they'll have a stronger draft, therefore are faster. When these second packs, have more cars, it's going to get crazy.
Definitely will be. Here comes Walpole, 4 wide for second. To the inside of Roger Ray, Juan Garcia, and Andrew Miller. And he's got the run to the inside of Blaine Keys for the lead. Walpole going for his first win in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series in Season 3 at the second Texas race later in that season. Of course, he hasn't even raced in Season 3 up until this season, and he's going to lead that lap right there in the 34. Now, Walpole came really close to winning at Richmond, Feels like he should have gotten it there, and he came close to winning last weekend at Pocono, but I will tell you, he's got a strong season going for him right now, as he has climbed his way through those point standings very well. He gained 7 positions after Pocono last week. He is ready to win a race and solidify his spot in the chase this season. Daniel McMillan has won a race this season, came at Rockingham. He's still got a chance as well. A win could put him in a great position, and we'll have to see if he can do that. Now, John Stewart is our points leader, so another win by him could officially lock him into the chase on points. So we'll have to see if he can do so. But he's to the inside of Michael Canto now for the second position, as McMillan leads lap 15 in the 75.
Here comes the number 15 down to the inside looking for the lead. We'll have to see if he can keep it like all these leaders have shown that they can.
5 wide. Jake Weston here. Jalorb Alonso a little close right there. They're going to keep it together. And here are a couple of guys who got great runs at Pocono. Jesse Turner and Trey Bartow. And Bartow especially needed a really good run at Pocono. I believe he finished in the 4th position, maybe 3rd. And that might be the first top 5 he's gotten all season. But great to see him running up front here with Trey Bartow, with Jesse Turner. Of course, he is Trey Bartow. He's got to be with himself. But these two guys have raced in every single Chick-fil-A Cup Series race. And I could almost say the same for Stuart Gretton, but I believe he missed out on the Season 3 Daytona 500 because I was an idiot that season. I don't know what I was doing with the system there, but still, all 3 of those guys on the inside have been in every single season, and they're all running up front right now. The experience really paying off at a place like this at the moment. Of course, as this race goes along, they might not be in the right position, but it's looking good for those guys right now. And here's Alexander Rowe to the point. Like I said earlier on, he has yet to lead a lap all season here in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series.
Oh,
Will he get it right here? We're just going to have to see. Trey Bartow does not want him to do so. Bartow wants a lap led at Armory Digital.
Well, yeah, Trey Bartow, he's kind of in some ways overlooked. Being a teammate with him last season at, in the 14 car and he was in the 4, he's a really good driver and, he's really smart. He knows how to do stuff. So hopefully that pays off and he can win here today.
We'll just have to see. Bartow still, I think, has a chance at the chase. If he can get a win, he might be able to pull it off. It's getting really tight, though. I mean, only 3 races left, including this one. So it's going to take a lot. How about Ryan Madden? We had an Uncharted driver win last weekend with Matt Tuck. Will it be another one today with Ryan Madden in the 85? Of course, he's another one of those guys who has won before in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series, so he knows how to get it done. And we're going to have to see if Madden can pull it off here tonight. He's pushing Stuart Gratton to the lead, and here's another one of those long-time veterans, Mr. Matt Dalio in the 79. He's trying to make it into the chase for, I believe it would be, the 4th consecutive season. And he's one of those guys who's on the edge. He and Jesse Turner are about 30 points off the cutoff back in there. A win by either of those teammates could put them right in contention heading into Nashville. So we'll have to see what happens here today. They're both running up front right now. Nicholas Samadillo is here behind the 79. And they're running pretty well here today. Julio Caesar in the 95. He would love a great run as a rookie. And Brad Stover, our points leader, or co-points leader, I should say, right here on the inside lane. Checking on those lap cars and see where they are. They do seem to be going pretty fast. Patrick Smith and Matthew Phillips coming off of turn number 2 as these guys are actually coming off of turn 4. So, they might avoid them. It's possible they might avoid them, but you can't really guarantee that.
Yeah.
Brad Stover to the point. He leads lap 19 here at Armory Digital.
Yeah, I say watch out for that number 79 and the 24. I mean, those are two. Matt Dalio, obviously experienced, but Nicholas Samadillo, he's been here since, I believe, Season 2?
Season 2. He did not race last season, but he won the Indianapolis 250 this year, and he also has won the Daytona 500 in this series before. I mean, he's Nicholas Samadillo. He's a household name, and he's also just as good as everybody else in the field, so watch out for him. He's currently 6th in the points and running in the top 5. That's exactly what he needs heading into Nashville. So we'll have to see if he can get it done here in the 24. Brad Stover's going to stay out in the lead, I should say. We don't have any pit stops, so stay out doesn't really apply here, but he's going to stay out front in the 99 and lead lap 20. 15 laps to go in the New Balance 450 as Brad Stover is out front for Titan Fury.
Yeah, and if I was Brad Stover right now, I'd really want to stay out in front because, being a co-points leader and only being behind because you don't have enough wins, a win would really, really help you along with the points, be the points.
Hey, don't look now, but John Arndt has found his way in this pack. I thought he was going to fall off, and he didn't. So that's good news for John Arndt, who is 10 points off the cutoff. With guys like Elijah Gordon and Nick Smith having issues, he could find himself in the top 10 at the end of the race if he gets a top 5. You see Fitzwater, he has damage. Gordon, Rainey, and William Brock all back here. They were all involved, and Matthew Phillips and Patrick Smith. That's how it goes down. Jay Jefferson in the 16 to the point now. To the inside of Justin Knight and Nicholas Samadio. You have Trey Bartow in the number 4. Christian Vargas in the 06. The Coke 600 winner going for his second win of the season. Andrew Miller and Nathan Stapleton, who won here in the Turkey Hill Series in season number 2 all the way back in 2015. It was his second career Napa fan win at the time, and he was driving the Monster Energy 54 in that race. So we'll have to see if he gets it done here tonight as he's on the inside moving up. Bartow to the point in the number 4 with Vargas running second.
Yeah, and as you see, I don't think they're going to encounter lap traffic. If you go back to the number 5, he's in a 3-car draft right there. So, well, not anymore, but I don't think they're going to encounter that lap traffic this race.
Patrick Smith, Matthew Phillips are drafting each other, so that keeps them going a little bit faster. They are right now through turn 3, so these guys come off of turn 2. They're still a little ways ahead. Here comes Vargas to the inside of Trey Bartow for the lead. Juan Garcia in the 6 to the inside of Stapleton and Bartow for second as Vargas is out front in the 06. You got the 22 of Isaac Nichols there, Tristan Allen. Boy, wouldn't it be something if Tristan Allen won? That's never happened. He's been racing in this series since 2015 in Season 3, and he still hasn't gotten a points-paying win. It's quite amazing. He's had a pretty decent season. A win would help him in the points battle. He's one of those guys who's just outside the top 15 right there. I think he's 16th in the points, just about 15 off the cutoff. A win could put him right in there. And Alonso, he had a dismal run at Pocono. His momentum just shut down at the Tricky Triangle. But he's looking to regain that momentum here tonight in the number 40 as he is up front here. All of these guys, everyone from Juan Garcia all the way to Ryan Madden there at the end of the pack, still have a shot at victory here tonight. We got 11 to go coming to the line, so it's anybody's game here in the New Balance 450. Juan Garcia now out front in the 6 as Alonso closes in the 40.
I don't know if this nickname still applies, but, it'd be pretty fitting for the old self-proclaimed Superspeedway master to, win his first Chick-fil-A Cup Series race here, especially with how many times he's come close.
Definitely, and, hey, he still is a Superspeedway master in my opinion. Those 2 wins in the Daytona 125K over in the Rockstar Pro Series definitely solidified that, and he is definitely a guy who knows how to get it done on the Superspeedways. He is the winningest driver on Napa Fan without a Chick-fil-A Cup Series victory, and he wants me to stop saying that, so let's just hope that he gets a win here soon. But it might be today. We're just going to have to see. Andrew Miller back to the inside with his teammate Roger Ray right behind him. Alexander Rowe and Richard Kingard. I think I mentioned this in qualifying. These 2 guys were initially going to be in the opposite rides. They ended up switching before the season began. It was initially going to be Richard Kingard in the 68 and Alexander Rowe in the 47. Now for Alexander Rowe, that didn't work out too well because Kingard's already gotten 2 wins this season. But Alexander Rowe, he's up front here. He might have a shot at victory. I have a feeling. I'm going to call it right now. My winner of this race is Alexander Rowe. He's not lit a lap all season, but this is the kind of race where a guy like Rowe can win it. And I want to see him lead a lap here in this race, too. We'll have to see if he can get it done, but trying to hold out that inside lane. Roger Ray out front in the 48.
I don't think that he is going to win this race just purely for the fact he's 2 up front this early. I mean, we've seen how guys at the front get cycled into the back, and I don't think he's going to have enough time to get cycled into the back and come out on top.
We did see yesterday as Alexander Rowe will finally lead a lap this season. We did see yesterday Christian Master start on the pole, fall back, and come back to the front in 8 laps. So it's not over yet. We're just going to have to see. Here comes Aaron Walpole. Ace Garcia trying for his second win of the season. Got the win at Road America a couple weeks ago. And here he is. John Hart in the 05. He has found his way inside the top 5. And I don't think he thought he was going to be here after getting involved in that crash. But here he is. He needs a solid run if he's going to have a shot at the top 10 at the end of the regular season. And he's in the position to do so right now. But is he too early? I'm just going to have to see. We've seen these guys be able to stay out front pretty well in this one, as Walpole goes to the inside of Alexander Rowe for the lead on lap 27.
Yeah, and that's what super speedway racing is all about. John Hart, we were talking about him being a dark horse for even getting in this pack, and here he is with, only a handful of laps to go, right there at the front.
They were going 5 wide there for a moment, but they're going to keep it together. Nicholas Samadillo in the 24. He appears to have had an issue. He has fallen off the draft, and I think he has damage, possibly. Yeah, it looks like that hood has buckled on the 24. He might have gotten into the outside wall a little bit. That is not at all what Samadillo needs here in the championship. As right now, that puts him at the end of the pack in 33rd. That is not good at all, and I think it recently happened too, because last lap he was 25th in the pack, so something amiss on the 24. That's a tough break for Samadillo. We'll have to see if he can close back in on the draft here, but I think he's too far behind.
Yeah,
that is unfortunate. He had a great run going for him, and he needs those good runs as he is in the chase coming into this thing. Ace Garcia trying to make a run for his money in the chase. He got the win at Road America. Kind of average at Pocono, but here he is in the 92, leading late in the going, and
yeah.
Oh man, Patrick Smith and Matthew Phillips. I have a feeling it's going to be like right near the finish of this one, because they're closing in, but not fast enough for it to be right now. You see them there in the frame. Yeah. We'll have to see. Grattan to the point in the 25. He's going to barely lead this one in lap 29. 6 to go. 5 wide. Jesse Turner in the 77. I love seeing this guy race, and he's going to go right to the lead with that one. He is the legend, man. He just is. And right to the point goes Jesse Turner. It's going to be a little too early, but that is quite an impressive move from 8th to the lead, but not quite to the lead because he didn't actually get to the inside of Grattan there in time to clear him. And here comes Michael Canto, only 3 off the cutoff. A win would put him in the top 10 exiting this one.
Yeah, and here comes the number 37 car. The Navy Chevy is really fast this weekend, and I wouldn't rule him out either. It might
Cody
be a bit
Sill has had a great season. 9 top 10s. He's going for his 10th. More top 10s than anybody. 4th in the points. 34 off of John Stewart. He's got a chance. We'll just have to see. Got some Justins on the inside. Heath and Knight. And the other Zach Ryan machine of Alonso. And lap traffic. Patrick Smith, Matthew Phillips. Here we go.
It's gonna be this lap.
This is going to be the determining factor on who gets the victory here today at Armory Digital.
Yeah, and if you're in that pack, you want to definitely avoid where they are. You see cars darting to the inside to try to avoid that, just trying to predict where that lap traffic's going to go.
Patrick Smith is going to hold up Cody Sill. Daniel McMillan to the point in the 75 as he leads the inside lane down. And Sill got stuck behind the 66 and had nowhere to go. He's still on the outside. Matthew Phillips now falling back in the 33. As he is getting swarmed by the lead draft, and it's Daniel McMillan now out front with 4 laps to go on the New Balance 450.
Cody Sill's up into the wall.
Oh, he is. And I think that might have been what happened to Nicholas Samadillo. That's going to slow the pack down even more. Slowing down Michael Canto there, a long single file line ahead of these guys. They're all trying to get around the lap cars. And for the most part, half of the pack is doing so, but the other half is not. This is definitely not what these guys back in here wanted to see. No question about it. They might still have a chance, but I don't know. Nathan Stapleton's down the pit lane. Don't know what the problem is on the 54. Oh my, I think these guys might be running out of fuel. So fuel was a factor here in Armory Digital.
And with like 3 laps to go, it's going to be pretty crazy to see how this turns out with fuel strategy now involved.
It definitely will be. That is fascinating right there. I honestly thought these guys would be good to go, but apparently they're not going to be. Justin Roberts, Cameron Garlington, Justin Heath. My hope would be is that everybody comes down so that it kind of evens out. But I have a feeling that's not going to be the case. It is a very long racetrack here at Armory Digital, so I don't know if that'll be the case. Oh, yeah, they're coming down here. Blaine Keys, Justin Heath, Brad Stover. It's going to be 2 to go next time. You know, this is going to end up being, oh my goodness, it's going to be Justin Roberts in victory lane, only unless he has to come down the pit lane near the end here. I tell you, every race we've had this season has just been a mess like this.
And if we can't find a crash, I have a decent theory of what happened. If we don't see a crash on the racetrack, I'm pretty sure that one of these slow cars triggered the track's, caution sense because they're coming off the pit lane.
Ryan Mann got into somebody. That's what happened. There's damage on that 85. Dalio, I think the good part about this track, I think, is that everybody who came down is going to stay on the lead lap at least. So it's such a large racetrack. The question is, will Roberts and Garlington and all these guys have to come down here? If that happens, who inherits the lead?
Well, right now, if I was the number 83, I would turn the engine off and just coast it, because you don't need to waste fuel under pace laps, especially at a track that's this big.
Oh, it looks like Justin Knight's going to come down. And Christian Vargas as well. Points leader John Stewart. They cannot make it. Jesse Turner. This is the 4th time. No, third. Third time. It's the 3rd time. But still, we've had it happen so much with Jesse Turner at the beginning of the season, where he's had to come down near the end of these things. This is just downright pathetic. Again, we have another problem with these guys not being able to make it the whole way. I just can't believe it. Justin Roberts is going to take the white flag under caution.
That's honestly insane. You know, these crew chiefs, they were trying to get all they could out of these cars in terms of fuel, and now it's going to come back and bite them because they're trapped, stuck in the back because of this caution.
They are. They're just gassing and going there. Justin Roberts in the 83. Most likely going to get the victory here tonight at Armory Digital under caution. And, I mean, we've had so many issues. Michigan had the problem. The Coke 600 was given to Christian Vargas, basically, because he stayed out longer than everybody else, and the caution came out there. Richmond had a similar issue. That gave the win to John Stewart. I'm telling you, it has just been a mess this season when it has come to pit strategy. And this is a race that shouldn't have even had any issue with pit strategy to begin with. So, a little frustrating for me on my end. But, either way, there's not much we can do about it. And if we risk, redoing the race, we've done that enough this season, and I apologize. We risk doing that and risk it happening again. And we don't necessarily want to take the time to do that, so this is going to be it right here. And Justin Roberts edged out Cameron Garlington at the line there for the victory. You're going to have Daniel McMillan running 3rd, Andrew Miller, Tristan Allen, the top 5. Great run for Durick, as they got Juan Garcia and Jay Jefferson, another top 10 for Trey Bartow. Michael Canto needed that one right there in the 15. Julio Caesar, and I got to tell you, Luke Rainey is a lap down, so it doesn't even matter. I thought that he was going to get a top 11 there. Actually, yeah, he's a lap down, so it's unfortunate for him. I thought he was going to get a 11th place finish at least, but either way, Justin Roberts is going to be his 2nd win of the season, and get this, he has won both of the inaugural events of the season. First time we went to Riverside, he won. First time we go to Armory Digital, Justin Roberts wins the New Balance 450, race 18 to the Hamill Racing driver of Justin Roberts.
Yeah, that's really good for him. Great job by that team. He wasn't up front all race, but, he was there when it counted.
He was, and, for Roberts and Garlington and all these guys, they were able to make it, so it didn't affect those guys, but some guys were not able to make it, and Aaron Walpole was one of those guys, and he's going to finish 26th. Not quite what he wanted, but I believe the caution came out there with Ryan Madden. So let's go ahead and see what happened to the 85 to bring up this caution to end the race a couple laps early.
All right, so as they come down to the pit lane, 39 just gets brake checked and, he gets turned. Not turned, but he spins around. It's similar to what happens at Homestead after the race sometimes where, these guys will check up trying to come onto the pit road and they'll all check up at one time and everybody will just spin out because they don't know what they're doing at the end of the race. So,
well, Justin Roberts knew what he was doing there. He got to the point at the perfect time, and a lucky win there for Roberts. And we really haven't seen much of him all season, but what this will do, it will ensure that the top two finishers of the Chick-fil-A Open and the All-Star Fan Vote winner will be in the All-Star race. So Justin Roberts getting it done here tonight. And just another wacky race. Happy birthday to me. Is what I deserve every time, I guess. But how about those finishers there? You got Roberts, Garlington, McMillan, Miller, and Allen. None of those guys, except for Allen maybe, are really up there. And, that's just super speedway racing. You get just a mix of all different kinds of drivers. Now, Aaron Walpole, I'm going to be curious to see where he ends up at the end of this one in the chase, because he had to come down there near the end, and he finished 26th. I think he's going to probably stay right where he is in the points, but I could be wrong. I'm not 100% sure on how that's going to work. But you see Yepes and Senor and Jordan Carter all finishing, or not finishing actually, and then all those other guys finishing a lap down or more. But John Arndt, he finished 14th, so it worked out pretty well for him after the wreck. And Nicholas Samadillo, now remember what happened. He ended up getting involved in something. He fell off the draft there. With all those guys coming down, he ended up getting up to 15th, so he will stay in the chase after this one. So it worked out for him as well. But either way, Caleb, oh my goodness, what a way for you to come back to the booth. I mean, another wacky race here in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series, but still a good one nonetheless.
Oh yeah, definitely. I whenever I commentate, it's just always wacky. You had the special events last year, and with the winner blowing up less than half a second after he crosses the finish line, winning the race. It's just I guess I'm destined to watch wacky races on this channel.
Yeah, well, Justin Roberts is happy about that. If that wacky race did not happen, I don't think he would have won. If that caution did not come out, I don't think Roberts would have won. But ended up working out for him. Now, not too many guys are really screwed out of good finishes there. There was only a few guys who had to come down, maybe 10. So it wasn't that bad. I mean, we had Jesse Turner. He had to come down. He was up there. Ace Garcia.
Jesse Turner was trapped behind that lap traffic there. So, I mean, he didn't really fall too much just because of pit stops.
It was a bit of a mess. Not as bad as it could have been because Roberts was up there. He stayed out the whole way, and he didn't get screwed. Nobody really got screwed or anything like that who deserved to win per se. I mean, okay, that's wrong. I mean, you had some of those guys like Justin Heath. He had a great run going for him. He's going to finish 16th either way, so not too bad. But still, that is a difference of 13 points right there. That could mean he misses the chase just because of that move. So, I mean, I didn't really think that we would have a fuel issue in this race. I tested and they went the whole way through the first time. The second time, apparently they didn't. And I'm a little curious on why that was the case. I apologize, but I don't even care anymore. But you know what I mean. Nashville is up next. That's a fascinating one. And then Indy. That's another fascinating one. To finish out the regular season, it's going to be fascinating to see who gets it into the chase, and I'm looking forward to seeing who does it in these next couple of weeks. Thank you guys very much for watching. Here are the point standings for the Chick-fil-A Cup Series, and thank you, Caleb, for joining me after all this time, and I appreciate it. Happy birthday to you as well, because I think the next time we do a Cup race, you'll already be 16, so happy birthday to you. We're pretty close there.
Yeah, thanks.
You're welcome. But congratulations to Justin Roberts, your winner here at the Armory Digital Superspeedway. That is it for me from Seattle, Washington. On behalf of Caleb Hoffman, thank you guys very much for watching once again, and I will see you guys later.
Fighting for the fire, wait for the light. Gotta be brave, 'cause I need you here.